CARCAST podcast. It's a podcast where we talk cars. I'm here with Jake. David's with us today, and we have a very special guest, Kyle McLaughlin from 401 Street Life in Rhode Island. Kyle, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm well.
We're doing pretty good.
I'm doing fantastic. I've met you, Kyle, actually. I've been to the Ann and Hope Warwick meets before. I absolutely enjoy them, and I love them. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. We
Best
try our
part,
best.
best part is families I see there, like kids too. It's for everyone. So that's why
Yeah,
I
we
really
try and
enjoy
keep it really family friendly for everybody. We try and keep a safe environment, and we try and keep like a good look for the community and try and stay in touch with that sort of aspect with it.
Oh, it's a great time. I recommend it. Jake and Savion, you guys should pop out. They're really fun.
Our season opener is actually in about 2 weeks. It was supposed to be this Sunday, but we pushed it back because of rain.
Oh, I'm part of the Facebook group chat. I'm well aware of it. You guys should join it as well.
Oh, I'm part of that group. Kyle is the owner, and I believe Kyle is the owner. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm the president and creator of the Club 401 Street Life.
Kyle, he's the man. Kyle, tell us a little bit about 401 Street Life. Here's a plug for you.
Pretty much we're a pretty big car club, and we host events mainly for the community. We just try and bring people in the car community together so that everybody can have a good place to go, to meet new people, to get like new ideas for maybe their own rides, their own cars, and to make friends and just have a cool place to hang out. We're just trying to make the community good.
Yes, and having a good community is the foundation to a successful image. 401 Street Life. It's great people. Kyle's fantastic. I met a lot of fun characters when I went down there for my first time going to see them. It was a sort of just a little get together, not a big show.
Yeah,
It was
just hanging out.
We were just hanging out, but boy, I got a taste of what was to come, and I plan to visit more in the future. I'll bring my drone, bring my cameras, and I will bring Jake, because Jake and we plan to do an interview with some people at one of your car shows, where Jake and I will hopefully be dressed in proper Anchor TV attire with microphone, boom mic, and camera, and we will ask some people to tell us a little bit about your cars to boost morale, boost your page, and just give us some good content for Anchor TV. And speaking of content, today's topic is going to be mods that you've done to your car. Kyle, I'm sure you've got a lot to say, so we'll have you go first. First, tell us what you drive.
I have a couple of cars actually. I have a 76 Camaro. It's a built nitrous car. That one I use for drag racing and just cruising around. I have my 88 Monte Carlo. That's my daily. I have an 87 300Z and an 84 50th anniversary 300Z and a 96 Maxima and 2 motorcycles. But my Monte Carlo and my Camaro are my personal favorites. And I know that guy down there, that guy's seen it, I'm sure, on the page a couple of times. Some videos of it going crazy. But modifications, the Camaro I haven't really done much to. It has a 355 small block in it. I have a 175 shot of nitrous running through it. It's on drag slicks. It's a quarter-mile car. But my Monte Carlo, I've done a lot to that car. Personally, I haven't done too many mods, but I've done a major overhaul on the car. Like I took the stock motor out, the 305, and I put in a built 350 into it. Did exhaust settings.
All right, you can swear. We'll beep it after.
You can swear, there's no problem.
I'm sorry. I'm still in shop mode right now.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I got custom headers for it through Hooker Headers. They're competition headers, so they give the car a real deep tone. I put a different carburetor on it. Mainly just basic stuff, basic bolt-ons. But personally, I've thought about putting a blower on it, supercharging the car, and maybe even nitrous in the future. But those are like my favorite personal mods is nitrous and blowers.
That is a lot, and I'm sure that it's worth it.
Oh yeah, they add a lot of horsepower. But there's a lot of things you can do for mods for cars, like even simple cars, like you can put a turbo on them and like they'll give them a little bit of power. You can control boost. You can do different like push. You can do lifters, rods, springs, retainers, all different kinds of stuff to cars to make them get a little bit more horsepower, depending on what you want to do. Even more fuel efficiency if you want to go that route.
Yeah, of course. Throw the old hot air intake to get better fuel economy.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a couple of different kinds of intakes you can put on cars. But so like with my cars, I don't care about fuel efficiency. Like my Camaro and my Monte Carlo get like the Camaro, I'm lucky if I get like 3 miles a gallon in that thing.
Oh, sweet. Not even in the teens.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean my Monte Carlo gets maybe like, what would you say, like 7 or 8 if I'm lucky. On a good day, 7 or 8 miles to the gallon.
Even the Ram TRX gets better gas miles than that thing.
Yeah,
But hey, you do what you want with your vehicle.
pretty much.
So,
Kyle, sorry to interrupt, but for those who watch our podcast that are not as into cars as you or Savion and the rest of us, do you mind explaining to us what nitrous is exactly?
Okay, nitrous oxide is pretty much a fuel additive. So should I explain like how it works, like the setup of it?
Yeah,
if,
it's something like.
Okay, so like the way it's set up in my Camaro is I have a separate bottle in the trunk. And on my car, it's an old school setup from the 90s because nowadays it's done a little differently, but I'll explain my setup. So nitrous can be sprayed 2 different ways into a car. One is a wet shot where it mixes with the fuel and then it's injected into the motor at the same time, or a dry shot where it's sent in through the intake, which is a little bit more dangerous for cars, but it's cheaper and easier to set up. But nitrous pretty much it's a straight combustible. It adds a lot more horsepower. So my Camaro is set up with 175 shot. So every time I'm activating my nitrous, the car is getting an extra 175 horsepower. So it bumps it up from around 500 to almost 700. And the way it works is I have a bottle in the trunk that is pressurized with the nitrous in it, and there's a line that feeds from that to a separate fuel pump that runs throughout the car down the fuel line, and it mixes in with the fuel before it gets into the motor. And then whenever I hit the button, it pretty much sprays through a jet, and the jet is what controls how much is being let into the motor at that time. So mine is set to 175. So as long as my finger is basically on the button, I'm getting 175 extra horsepower the entire time. Second I let go, it's back to the normal horsepower of the motor.
that is impressive.
Very interesting.
Wow.
Fun stuff.
That gives me a lot to think about because my car gets 158 horsepower and you get an extra 175 by the push of a button. It's impressive.
Pretty much. Mine's set up a little differently. Like I can set it up to press a button, but I have what's called an open throttle switch.
Okay, yeah.
So the second my foot hits the floor in my car, the nitrous turns on. The second I let off the pedal a little bit, the nitrous is off. Because the best time to spray nitrous is when you're in the higher RPMs.
Wide open throttle.
Yep. So once my foot hits the floor, that's when my nitrous starts spraying.
Gotcha. Yeah, the closest thing I have to that is VTEC. Whenever I floor it, it eventually kicks in.
VTEC kicks in.
VTEC. Well, none of us are nearly as armed as well as you are with our car modifications, but let me tell you a few that I've done. So I drive a 2016 Honda Civic LX, LX signifying the base model, the lowest trim, the least tech, the most bare bones version of the 10th gen Civic. So I don't have any luxuries like leather seats, heated seats. I don't even have an obligatory sunroof or any other little creature comforts. I do have 2 cup holders though, lucky me. Oh, and it's
Hey,
actually,
you got one up on me. The Camaro has no cup holders, and neither does the Monte Carlo.
oh, there you go. I'm a much more practical vehicle, but yeah, obviously yours could beat me in a race. Now, the only modifications I've made to my car, I can name on my hand. So get this, because I have the base model Honda Civic, I don't have a fancy looking car. However, I think that the 10th gen Civic is quite a beautiful looking car, if I do say so myself. Now, the top end of trim level of the Honda Civic is the Honda Civic Touring. It's about 28 grand for a Honda Civic, which I think is way too much to pay for that. So what I try to do is I try to make my car look like it's more expensive. For example, I slapped some chrome door handles onto the car. Amazon sells little stick-on door handles, and they've actually held up fantastic. And for 16 bucks, I think I got my money well spent. It's custom fit to that car, and the Touring trim of the Honda Civic has chrome door handles. So that's step one, getting to a more fancy car. I also spent a lot of money, $425 on Land aftermarket sequential Type R imitation turn headlight assemblies.
Okay.
So these headlights are sequential turn signals, which means that the headlights go blip, blip.
Yeah.
They travel across the LEDs for anyone who doesn't know what those are. Now, obviously, I had to take my bumper off and install them. I had a friend do it. We did it together for free. The headlights are these bejeweled style. It looks like fancy Audi. It's just a great design, and it's found on the top trim level and the Type R. So that's another modification I made. In addition, I also included a dash cam. Yes, a dash cam, Venture Pro front and rear dash cam. And it records most of the time. I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of strange. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's kind of acting a little bit strange. But that's pretty much all the modifications I've made to my car, excluding I've done some sound deadening on my car. I use this, I forget the name, but it's this sort of sticky metal material that you stick on the metal of the frame of the door on the inside of the door panel, and it reduces vibration and mutes sound.
Oh, sound dampening. Yep.
It's a sound dampener. It helps rattling.
I don't even think they can make one good enough for my cars.
Yeah, I would love to get my car dead quiet. I would love for my car to be quiet. I like electric cars because they make no sound. Kyle, I'm the opposite of you.
Everybody has their own personal taste, man. I don't knock anybody's rides because, like, it's hard nowadays. Not everybody has like the knowledge, the tools, the time, the money, or even a place to work on their cars. So, like, you know, I see people like with like beat down cars and they're trying their best. It's like, I appreciate that stuff. You know, I won't ever crack on anybody because like their car is not something of my interest. You know, if it makes them happy, that's what really matters at the end of the day. And I feel like that's why like people really like coming to our meets a lot, because like I try and make that a big thing. Like, you know, everybody should be able to enjoy what they do without having like being made fun of or anything, you know. Like you said you have a base model Civic. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're doing what you can do and what you know to make it cool and what you like, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Like me, I personally, I like my cars loud as hell, and I like them to go fast really quick. But at the end of the day, like I can't go on the highway and hit like a $140 for a long time. Like I'll be on the highway doing like 55 in my last gear at 3,000 RPMs, and my car is screaming at me. So, you know, everybody has their own personal taste.
There's sacrifices that need to be made in order to get certain things. You can't get great fuel economy and have a big truck. You can't have a capable vehicle like a truck and get great fuel economy. I already said that, but there's always you can't have everything.
Always positives and negatives, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to cars.
I'm not gonna lie, Kyle. When I go to pull up to the meets, I'm always intimidated to see all these nice cars. I pull up my 2007 Honda Civic with nothing at all, not even powered windows, with a crank.
Hey, man,
And then
you're
I'm
an
like,
enthusiast, and that's what matters, man.
hey,
You go there,
The only mods I've made in my car is a sound system, an air freshener, a dash cam, and a Mount Washington's bumper sticker, and that's
All
it.
you guys are dash cams. I'm gonna slap a GoPro to the side of my car, and that's gonna be my
Yeah, exactly. You get to find an accident in high quality, you know, high def.
sponsored by Mexico and Applebee's.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly.
But no, what I really love about the meets, though, honestly, is there's not one person has the same thing on each car, though, which is very interesting to me.
Oh, beautiful.
She's hibernating right now.
Nice.
You must be excited for the nicer weather coming out.
Yeah, except my starter went on it, so that's a little bit of an issue right now.
Well, I'm excited to see it, though, out in the summer.
Oh, it'll be out. You'll see it at the meet.
I'll look for it going 55 on the highway.
A little bit higher sometimes. I shouldn't, but I do. I do
Well,
quick up to like 130 really quick and just fucking slow down.
Kyle, I wanted to ask, with these meets and these cars, like you were saying, everyone's different. Everyone has their own personal needs. And as long as they like their ride, that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be like yours and really decked out. But what would you recommend to someone like me who's bare bones, has nothing done, the first thing someone should get done on their car?
Ooh. So you're talking like a beginner's kit to car mods.
Yes.
It's
I would automatically, most people, it's like you get looks and a little bit of performance. Cold air intake. It'll give you like the tiniest bit of extra horsepower. And really ain't gonna do much, but it'll give your car a little bit of a deeper tone. Very little bit. Not legal on some cars, cutting off the cats and straight piping that first time. Running a straight pipe right from the headers all the way back is my personal suggestion, but it's gonna be loud and most likely get pulled over. But unless you drive an old school muscle car, you usually get away with it.
Nice.
Nice.
Keep that.
I don't want to hear it.
Now,
So yeah, exhaust work, cold air intake, rims, coilovers, drop the car down a little bit, put on some nice rims, and that's really like a lot of people just do stuff like that. Like, because once you do the exhaust, and a tune, like you can actually make a pretty decent setup with just wheels, coilovers if you're into like lowering your car, exhaust work, intake, and a tune. All that together will make a big difference in your car. And maybe some tint and stickers.
see, I thought tint was illegal, though, within Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that because my car used to have tint on it, and the cops made it was my uncle's car. They made him take it off. Yeah, true. I like the tint. It looks
Yeah,
nice.
it looks nice.
One
You just
time-
tell Pop said it was factory made like that, right? If it's factory made, it's okay.
Yes, somewhat, I think.
Come on.
Just a smooth-
Reality of that.
Yeah.
now.
It's legal, yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So David, your car is a 2007 Honda Civic. First of all, a few questions. What color is it?
Actually, it's a Hyundai Accent. Sorry,
It's
but
Korean garbage.
I used to have a
not,
Honda. I used to
Japanese
have a
garbage.
Honda.
Hyundai Accent.
Yes.
You said Honda Civic.
Yeah, no. I had one before that. I meant to clarify. And then when I got my Hyundai Accent, I put some things into that car when I got it from my uncle because he already had the dash cam and a top of the line audio. But I mean, here's the thing: I don't see the point of really doing a lot because I plan on getting another car at some point in the near future. But yeah, I have nothing done to it. As I like to call it, the shitmobile. It runs fine. Like the day, I always get my oil change done when I need to, like a regular born old driver. And I have my Mount Washington sticker, so I'm a typical Rhode Islander, unfortunately. When it comes to
the Hyundai Accent. This is nothing personal to you, but I did a detail on that on a Hyundai Accent, and it was very annoying. Yeah, it's a coupe. So again, this has nothing to do with you, but I spent about 6 hours with this car cleaning it, so I know your car very well. And
what color?
It's like this ugly gray, almost like.
I have blue. That's all that matters.
Okay, good. I thought you had a Civic. I was about to say, imagine
I did.
tilting, lowering, tuning, and putting rims on a Hyundai Accent. Yeah.
Well, with Rhode Island and our potholes, I don't know if we should lower cars
I don't
anyways.
know,
like
if anything, he
that.
should jack it up, like
Yeah.
put it on a 2-inch lift kit.
Honestly.
Now,
But no,
also,
You don't want to be in it.
how many miles do you have on it right now?
I have 243,000.
Holy moly.
It still runs like the day it was out of the factory. My uncle kept up with it. Oil change every 3,000. Always replaced what we needed to, and it still runs like the day it came out of the factory. That's all that matters. I mean, I'm still happy with it. Runs well. I probably can get another good few years out of it. I'm saving to get another car at some point though. By the time I'm out of college.
That's impressive for
Yes.
Hyundai because they don't really actually make the best vehicles. They're like par, like medium grade. They're like up there with Mitsubishi. Kind
And
of
Kia.
Yeah, it's
So
Kia.
take care of your car like you're supposed to, and
Yeah.
keep it up. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Any car. Well,
My
Well-
first car. Get this, Kyle. My first car was a 2009 Chrysler PT Cruiser.
I actually had two of them. I
It-
blew them both up.
I had a blue one and the head gasket blew. And you know what? I sold it and it was an okay first car. But other than that, I kind of, it was very quirky. So I loved it. It was my first car, but I would never buy one or tell anyone to buy another one again. They were all made in Mexico where the quality is not that good in car assembly, making car assemblies. The assembly line in Mexico is not good.
No.
I mean, I like going to Mexico. That's a street racing thing. That's where we go to race.
I'm drinking a Modelo right now.
Yeah.
Have anything you want, as long as it's a Corona.
Corona's good too. I like Corona. Corona and Modelo.
I don't actually drink.
You can cut that part out if you want.
21, I don't drink. But
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's like
It's
cars.
cool.
Like, you know, if you want to add a,
It's-
if you want to add an ugly spoiler to your car, add an ugly spoiler to your car.
They're not all ugly. There's some cool ones.
No, I know.
Cool spoilers.
Yeah, you and your sister.
I wanted to what I want to do to my car is I want to get rims. So because my car is black and it's got the chrome on it, the chrome door handles, it's got these silver hubcaps. I want some nice silver rims to reflect, the sort of affluent aura on this Honda Civic. But I just want it to look really nice. But I'm struggling to find good rims. I want to keep them 16. Okay. But it's hard to find good rims.
BBSs.
What's that?
They're expensive. BBSs. They're expensive, but they make some of the nicest rims out there.
I wanted Honda OEM rims, and they're good too, but Honda doesn't really make silver. They've got aluminum.
You
But
can always get them like dipped or wrapped or painted too. Dude,
Yeah.
I spray painted my own rims once gold. It came out not bad. Just get some
Yeah.
chrome spray paint or something, chrome wrap. There's ways to do it, and there's a lot of shops around Rhode Island that can like do stuff like that for you. If you find a
Yeah.
set of you like, you can always just get them changed yourself.
I wanted to get window tint as well, but I don't want to pay too much. I know that quality costs money, but I want it to be a really good. I don't want it to be bubbling in the future, and I clean my windows all the time, so I want to make sure that they're good material tint. But
If
I would
you're
love to
looking
get
to
my
get your
windows
car
tinted.
tinted, I know a couple of people that can do a really good job.
Are
In
they
the Rhode
based
Island area?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, maybe
I'm
I'll.
not gonna that separately when we're not on the video chat.
Yeah, that is interesting. What about you, Jake? You got the DeVille.
Yeah,
Anything done to
I
it?
mean, like I said, I love the power of a big block V8, even though the DeVille's not really supposed to be used as a race or sports car. But I can go 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, which that's not that impressive in comparison to the Monte Carlo. But for a 17-foot car, that's pretty fast. But other than that,
Monte Carlo probably does the same.
yeah, really?
My Camaro is the fast one, but my
Right.
Monte Carlo, it's just like it's a little done up on the top end of the motor with a massive camshaft in it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting.
It
I
makes
like
it
the
like
luxury things.
quirky.
Okay, wow. Yeah. I haven't really done any like modifications to the engine or the performance of the car. Most of them have been cosmetic, like touch up the paint, or I put like, LEDs underneath the seats of the cars in the front and the back, and then made sure I hid the wires really nicely. It doesn't look tacky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have like a little underglow on the inside. I also looked up on, Amazon, and also Auto Parts or whatever has it too, is you can replace your door lights with like the logo of your
Oh
car.
yeah, the logos, yep.
Yeah, so I was thinking about maybe doing that or something too.
My favorite one I always remember is I saw a Corvette with the Decepticon symbols coming out under the door.
That's sick. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Seems like a Decepticon kind of vehicle. That's, my car is not fast. Yes, they have the stigma of this Civics being these quick little rice rocket that the kids love to soup them up. But my car is not anything like a Rolls Royce, but I want it to be like a Rolls Royce. I don't drive fast, okay? I have it on eco mode almost all the time, except when I'm feeling a little excited some of these nights, and I want to keep it
like the
sport
luxury,
gear.
more comfort end.
Yes, I don't want to. This is my first car. I'll get a better car, but in the time being, the cheapest way to make my car as smooth as possible, starting with the sound deadening, keeping my rims at 16 and not going to 17 or 18. Maybe swapping in some touring tires when I get new tires, but I don't want to put expensive suspension parts in it or anything. So I just trying to keep everything drive smooth. I got to do my brakes. When I brake, it's a little bit a tiny bit. I got to redo my brake rotors, but I just want my car to be luxurious and smooth.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, everybody has their own taste.
Definitely look into Cadillac though, because they already come with the soundproofed doors. You can barely hear the highway.
Some of the Maybachs, they've got triple pane glass.
Wow.
Instead of just one glass, it's 3. And I want to reduce road noise with my car. I think they have these little rubber things that you put on the you don't put it on the glass of the window, but it goes like on the metal of the car or something, and it helps insulate it more. I got to look into that. I'm going to ask a few people about it if they know anything. Kyle, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have an idea. There's a lot of things going on nowadays with like the sound deprivation on cars, like ways to get rid of it or quiet them down. Like there's even cars that they have like in the wheel wells behind the tires, speakers that create an opposite frequency of the noise created from the road. So it literally cancels out the sound almost. Like the speaker gives off a certain pitch that quiets it down for the inside of the car. I'm pretty sure like Bentleys and stuff like that.
I thought the newest Phantom has that too, right? The Rolls-Royce Phantom?
Most likely, because those are cars that are like mainly made like built for luxury. They're performance vehicles too, but like their main thing is like luxury. And like people have full-on business meetings in like cars like that, They're in the back seat. You can't hear anything from outside. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I want that.
They got blackout curtains too. It's insane.
Yeah. Especially the Maybachs. The Maybachs are the crazy ones. They're meant to be chauffeured, or you're meant to be chauffeured around in that one. I call it, there's the driver's car, like a Bentley. You want to drive in a Bentley. And then there's to be driven in, like Rolls Royce and Maybach. The ultra
cars.
I would never spend the money, used or new, but they are nice, yes.
I just want to say I'm looking forward to the season this year, man, with 401 Street Life. To see what's been done to some people's cars, see what new cars will be there the previous years. There's some really cool shit that I've seen there, so people should pop out to that. I really like the ones at the end and hope down and work, but I know you guys do it all over too. So and there's a lot of car meets all throughout New England.
It's gonna be pretty cool. We haven't announced them to the publicly yet, but we're gonna be soon, and hopefully people will like what we have going on.
I mean, I don't get why they wouldn't. It's always cool shit when you there. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
See what you guys have.
Special thanks to Kyle McLaughlin from 401 Street Life for joining us this CARCAST podcast. We look forward to seeing him again in the future and to talk more about cars. So feel free to stop in and bring your friends next week on the CARCAST podcast where we continue to talk cars. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys next week.